Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough in the data world. The most dangerous moment in a cloud migration isn't the migration itself, it's month 8, month 10, that quiet period after everyone celebrated the go live and moved on. That's when things start breaking, not dramatically, but slowly in ways that compound. Until one day, someone asks the question every data leader dreads. Today, I'm going to break down why this keeps happening and how to think about it differently. Let's start with what the first few months usually look like. Because honestly, they usually look great. The data's moved, the new platform is live, leadership is happy, the team that pulled it off gets their credit. But around month 4, month 5, something subtle starts to happen. The finance team notices reports are slower. A data engineer sees the Snowflake bill has tripled. Two VPs get different numbers from the same dataset. And quietly, a few teams start pulling data from the old system again, just temporarily. The single biggest pattern: the architecture was copied, not redesigned. Companies take their Oracle or SQL Server logic, same schemas, same pipelines, same query patterns, and replicate it all in Snowflake or Databricks. Cloud platforms are fundamentally different architectures. Snowflake separates compute from storage. Databricks uses a lakehouse model with medallion layers. When you bring on premise thinking into these platforms, you're paying cloud prices for on premise performance. It's like buying a Tesla and towing it behind a horse. You've got the technology, you're just not using it right. Early months, the bills look fine. Small team, controlled workloads. Then adoption grows. More teams, more queries. Warehouses auto scale up and never come back down. Duplicated datasets multiply. By month 9, the CFO is asking uncomfortable questions, and the data team is scrambling to optimize things that should have been designed correctly from the start. Cloud is supposed to be cheaper, and it can be dramatically so, but only if the cost model is architected in from day one, not bolted on after the bill shocks start. Most migration approaches validate 5 to 10% of the data and call it good. When you're moving billions of rows, the problems live in the long tail. The edge cases, the encoding issues in 0.3% of records. They don't show up in samples, they show up 6 months later in a compliance audit nobody can explain. If you're not validating 100% of your data during migration, you're building on a foundation you can't fully trust. At launch, 10 or 15 pipelines, clean, manageable. Everyone knows what feeds what. 12 months later, 150. Every team built their own. 3 different teams have 3 different definitions of active customer. Your data engineers, the expensive talent you hired to innovate, they're spending 70 to 80% of their time fixing broken pipelines. The platform hasn't failed. It's been buried under its own ungoverned growth. This is the root cause underneath everything else. Most migrations are framed as a project with an end date. The team comes in, data gets moved, project closed. But a cloud migration isn't a project you finish. It's a transformation that requires ongoing optimization, monitoring, and governance. When the team rolls off with no plan for what comes next, the platform drifts right back to where it started. So, what does the better approach look like? The companies that succeed don't ask, how do we move to Snowflake? They ask, what decisions do we need this platform to enable and what architecture supports that? The platform choice is the least important decision. What matters is, did you redesign for the new architecture or copy paste? Did you validate every row or sample and hope? Did you build governance into the foundation or plan to add it later? Did you set up ongoing monitoring or declare victory at go live? Did you train your team to own it or create a dependency on consultants? The difference between a platform that delivers value and one that becomes your next legacy system comes down to this one distinction. If you're planning a migration or you're 6 months in and seeing some of these cracks, step back. Ask whether you're transforming your architecture or just moving boxes from one room to another. Because if your platform strategy doesn't evolve after migration, you haven't modernized your data, you've just moved your problems to a more expensive address. We are Agilitics. Here, we talk about data platforms, AI, cloud architecture, and the patterns we see across the industry. If this resonated, follow along. There's a lot more to unpack.